Saxon Algebra 1/2 lesson 32. I'm down here. The topic of this lesson is called evaluation. And in this lesson, we're going to be tossing this word around a lot. Variables. Variables are letters that take the place of numbers or that stand for. And here's the interesting thing. We can use any letter as a variable, and then later we can say, oh, that letter is equal to any number we want. Okay, so we essentially are writing out. Have you ever done Mad Libs? I know you have. They're kind of like Mad Libs, where we put in blanks and then later we fill the blanks in and make sense of them. That's what we're going to do in this problem. One thing I want to tell you is that sometimes we'll write it like this. That obviously says the sum of whatever we say x is equal to and whatever we say y is equal to. But sometimes this means add. But sometimes we just write them right next to each other like this, x times y. I'll scoot up a little bit. This means to multiply. We don't have to put a dot in between. We don't have to put parentheses. When we have two variables and we want to multiply them, we can just write them right next to each other like that. So we'll get used to that. All right, let's take a look at these problems. There are 3 of them in this lesson today. And this is how they look. It says evaluate. And I'll tell you exactly what that means in just a second. And then it gives us an expression with letters. Sometimes they'll have a number, but they are mostly letters. It says evaluate x times y plus x, and then it says if x equals 2 and y equals 4. So what we're being asked to do is to take this expression and substitute these numbers into it and then solve it for the number. Here's the way we do it. And this is so important, you guys. Please trust me that this is the right way to go. We want to use buckets. We want every letter in the original expression to be turned into a set of parentheses, or what I call a bucket. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. This will be the bucket for the x. This will be the bucket for the y. They're right next to each other, just like this. And then I do plus, and then I create the bucket for the x. Okay? Super important that we take this expression and recreate it with buckets so that now we can plug the numbers in and keep everything neat and tidy. And yeah, this one's pretty easy and you probably don't need the buckets, but guess what? Later, they're gonna get way more complicated. They're gonna have subtractions and minus signs in front of them, and these values may have minus signs. And the buckets keep the minus signs under control. So please don't fight me on this. Just trust me, it's going to work better if you follow the buckets methodology. Okay, so wherever we had an x, we'll put in a 2. And then where we had the y, we'll put in a 4. In algebra, we call this plugging in. We're taking the spot that a variable was holding for us, and we're putting in the value assigned to that variable. Okay, so now we do our multiplication. And like we just learned last time, we're going to follow the order of operations, which says multiplying and dividing before we add and subtract. Okay? These parentheses stand for multiplication. So we know we're going to do this first, and then we'll go back through again and add. Now this one's also really short, so you hardly need to write it twice. But there's the multiplication. We did that, 8 plus 2, and our final answer we see is 10. That's what the word evaluate means, is it means find the value of. Okay, so don't get hung up on that word. It's not a big deal. Let's try another one. All right, evaluate. I'm not going to write it again. X, M, Y minus xy, and over here we have our values. X equals 2, m equals 5, y equals 4. This is exactly how I want you to do your homework, how I want you to set it up. You don't have to write evaluate, you don't have to write if, but you need to write the expression and you need to write the values. Now this looks weird, but remember when we write letters right next to each other, it means we're multiplying. So we're gonna multiply 3 and then we're gonna subtract the product of 2 more. All right, so now we're gonna do our buckets and I need a little bit more room here. So I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3. Those stand for those 3 variables minus 2 more, okay? Give myself plenty of room so it doesn't get cramped. X is 2 and that goes in the first set of each clump or term. Clump is a non-mathematical word, but you can see what I mean, right? M, there's only one M, it goes right there. And then Y goes in both of those places, and it's 4. Okay, fabulous. Now we're ready to use our order of operations to solve. We're gonna need to multiply those, and then we'll go through and subtract later. Now, when we're multiplying with a lot of factors like this, we can do it in any order we want. Order does not matter within the multiplication. So I'm gonna say 2 times 5, that's 10. That is easier for me. 10 times 4 is 40, minus 8. And so our final answer here is 32. And that's correct. This one's correct also. All right? These are gonna get a little wackier, but they're kind of fun right now, although, I mean, bite my tongue, John's gonna make this last one. This is our last problem. He's gonna make this a little bit of a drama. mx plus 4m. That's a weird m. I got extra loopy in there. Sometimes we will find numbers in here. That's fine. That doesn't give us anything hard. This is what's annoying in this one. X equals 2/3 and m equals 9/11. Cry me a river. What in the heck? All right, but we don't panic. We just go ahead and set up our buckets. It's gonna be m times x plus 4 times m. And I can make these double-decker parentheses because I've got fractions, right? So I'm gonna put m in the first one and the last one. 9/11. 9/11. I'm gonna put this 4 over a 1 just so I don't get confused by that. And then I've got 2/3 that belongs here. All right, so plugging in, it's no harder because I have fractions. I just, double-decker buckets, that's about the hardest part of this one, right? Now, I follow my order of operations. I'm gonna multiply here, I'm gonna multiply here, and then I will add together at the end. This, before I multiply though, I look for something I can cancel. Ooh. I'm gonna divide both 3 and 9 by 3. So I'll get 3 and 1. This will then give me 6/11 plus, now I'm gonna do this multiplication. Oh, and I'm really just chuffed mightily by this because look, there's nothing we can cancel in this one, but look, it's 36/11, right? I'll scoot up a little so you can see better. And our denominators already match. Oh, thank you, John. We did not have to do anything. Final answer, 42/11. That's correct. John reduced it to a mixed number. I don't care. I don't like his mixed numbers, so forget about it. Just find the improper fraction. All right, that is everything for lesson 32. We learned to evaluate expressions by plugging numeric values into our variables. It's as much vocabulary as anything else, right? And then simplifying using order of operations. And of course, using our beloved buckets to keep it all straight. Just wait, you guys, we're just starting. Later, it's gonna get a little naughty, a little nasty, a little out of control, and we're gonna be so thankful for the buckets to help us keep our sanity. Thank you, goodbye.